Good evening. This is Attorney Margarita Yu for Partners in Law. Since this is the new year, we'd like to greet all our viewers. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Then, we're very lucky. Kuyog hapon na to si Attorney Regal Oliva sa Mandaue City Hall. Then, since this is January, bagong tuig, we'll be discussing about renewal of business permits. And who better to discuss it than the City Treasurer of Mandaue?
So, dual akong role karong gabi una, Marge. We're talking about I am the host at the same time your guest. Because January is, of course, from January 1 to 20 as the local government code provides, nga kailangan kita mo renew sa atong business permits. No, if after January 20 na, you will be suffering penalties and interest. And we are also asking all our televiewers, if you have businesses, whether retail or sole proprietor ni siya or mahimo mo korporasyon, kailangan mo mag-renew sa inyong business permit from January 1 to January 20. Karong gabi una, January 8 naman, so kailangan na gid mo by this time you have to visit your local treasurers para sa inyong assessment and you have to pay your business taxes para maka-issuehan mo sa inyong business permit.
Kaniwa ni extension ang deadline na to?
Depende rin na March because extension must only be given or provided by the Sanggunian Panlungsod or Sanggunian Panlalawigan or Sanggunian Bayan concerned.
Last year, naghatag bag extension ang Mandaue?
Most of the time, good March dili. Kaya nga naman, ang mga local government units, mausikan, anugon kaayo ang interest and penalties nga ipasaka against those erring or mga delinquent taxpayers. So, namang usahay good nga maghuwat kita sa deadline. And most of the local government units, especially kung mga dagko na like Cebu City, like Mandaue, Lapu-Lapu, Talisay, ilan na i-extend up to 11 o'clock sa gabi para lang maka-receive sa ilahang mga application for renewal. Pero after na gid sa January 20, mupatak na gid na ang surcharge ug ang interest. Ngano mang mupatak na siya, di na naman to ma-extend kay computerized maguta March. Unless there's an enabling ordinance for that matter nga mo extend ta, then our IT people sila na mo adjust sa computer.
Ganyan nagstorya ta, what we need is the assessment. Other than the assessment, napatay lain kailangan dadon
For the renewal.
For the renewal.
Okay, unsa may requirements para sa renewal? Ato gining klarohon ha, number 1, ang kaning DILG, the Department of Interior and Local Government has given a mandate to the local government units nga kailangan gyud i-streamline. Kaysa unang panahon, Marge, ang gipang required gyud by law, daghan kaayo, murag mugawas ang requirements nato, mugawas og 9 to 13 requirements.
Karon
Ibang
pila na
abot 17. Ang karon na lang gyud ang requirements na lang gyud must be at least at most 4 to 5.
But does this apply to Mandaue City Hall lang or
Tanan
to
gyud,
tanan
tanan local
LGUs?
government units.
So na-streamline na niya.
Streamline gyud na. Ang atong target for streamline is 2015. So kailangan by this year all local governments have already streamlined their renewal of business permits. So, unsa man gyud requirement, number 1, barangay clearance. Na ginas balaod, di na pwedeng wagtangon ang barangay clearance. Number 2 is your old mayor's permit. Kung renewal man di man siya new. So, ang inyuhang dating nga mayor's permit, you have to bring it. And number 3, ang inyuhang application ka ng unified application form. And number 4, inyong ITR, inyong income tax return of 2014. Dili katong 2015 ninyong ITR. Kay lahi na April pa may deadline ana. So maura gyud na siya. Pero nay uban local government units nga ni require og lease contract for those who are leasing properties. Pero kung if you own the property, di na kailangan. So mo na siya mga requirement.
So proof of ownership na lang ko.
Yes. Sa unang panahon, before the mandate of the DILG to streamline, ang requirement pag yun is ang inyong clearance from the SSS, the Social Security System, inyong requirement from Pag-ibig, from PhilHealth, inyong fire clearance, daghan pa kayo na. Environmental clearance, daghan kayo na siya. Pero karon man gyud, ang gisulti sa balaod or ang gisulti sa DILG is that we are giving them ample time. No, kay kung imo nang i-require sila anong mga clearance nga gipang mention ako earlier, we are only given from January 1 to January 20. Like karong tuiga nagsugod ang atong trabaho January 5. So 15 days na nabilin.
Na napay weekend ana.
Napay weekend. So uban local governments dili pa gid mo overtime. So, gamay na jud kayo lang time to get all the clearances. So, ningon ang mandate, okay, we are not dispensing with the requirements. What we are trying to do here is to extend the time for them to get the clearances. So, most of the local governments are giving the business establishments or business owners 30 days to 60 days, dapat iba 90 days. Sa Mandaue, Marge, we're only giving them 60 days to comply with the requirements of SSS, PhilHealth.
So pangayoon day gyapon, wa day
pangayoon
gi-dispense.
gyud nato gyapon. Nganong man gyud pangayoon gyud natong mga kaning nga requirement. These are social legislation requirements. And ato pong protektahan ang atong labor force. Kay kung ato ra ni pasagdaan, kaning mga business establishments will not even pay the SSS.
Will not bother na.
Dili na luoy kaayo ang atong mga trabahante. Kung luoy kaayo kung walay SSS, walay PhilHealth, walay pag-ibig, because these are basic requirements and basic rights of an employee. No, especially kung na employer-employee relationship, kailangan makakuha gyud unta sila
After
ang benepisyo.
pag-comply ani katong mga succeeding requirements katong SSS nga clearance, katong fire nga clearance, na subsequent nga certification nga naka-comply na or wala na.
Yes. After complying with all the requirements, matawag na itong regulatory requirements, after complying with all of these, tagaan na sila og permanent business permit for the year.
So the first one more
is provisional.
Provisional.
Mura provisional na siya. Ang uban local government lain og kolor. Ang uban pod local governments na ay stampan nga this is just a temporary permit. So after ka maka-comply sa tanan, tagaan na ka og iprintan kag bag-o nga kuha na gid siya nga valid up to December 31 of the current year. So kung karong nga tuiga, valid up to December 31, 2015. Importante kay Marge nga ato gining gistoryaan karong gabi una kay daghan kay mga business establishments nga magpasangil dayon nga wa man gud minaybaw sa deadline nga naa day January 20 ra gyud na balaod ka na ha. It is stated in the law, Local Government Code RA 7160 nga January 1 up to January 20 di na mo accrue inyong taxes for local taxes. So kung mulapas kag January 20 naa kay interest of up to 25%. Interest nimo. Imong penalty March, penalty of 25% and interest of 2% per month up to 72 months. That's about 72%, 36 months. So dako kayo
So
imong
maximum
interest.
na tong 72.
Yes, 72%. Di man para sa una nga prior to the local government code walay
limit.
way ceiling. So may na lang gid nga pag local government code na natay ceiling of 72% pero 72% per month ang imong kuwaon ana magpatak ka. So, bugat kaayo imbes gamay ra kay bayranan, maabot nag mo-doble or even mo triple mag-compound imong interest. So, it's very big. Maluoy ka sa taxpayer, especially those who may have said nga they are ignorant about the law. But mao gid state to Marge, di ba? Nga ignorance of the law excuses no one. So, mo na kung if you enter into business, you have to be very careful that there are laws that you have to comply. And these laws you have to respect and comply religiously. And this includes the payment of your business taxes and also the compliance of all regulatory requirements.
So for our viewers, unsa may kanang mga tips atong matag before sila katungwa pa naka-comply for easier compliance?
Ayaw mo paghuwat og deadline.
I think mo nang pinaka-importante.
Don't
go on the last day.
Don't go on the last day. The problem with some business establishments, Marge, mao gid mo experience sa City Hall. Ilang mga bookkeepers, in fairness, goes to City Hall. They go to City Hall at an early date, like karon January 5. Nana sila ngadto naglinya na ng mga bookkeepers para magkuwag assessment. Kay before magud ka mubayad sa imong business tax, you have to get the assessment. Kanang assessment na din ha Marge ang imong bayranan. Na din ang breakdown sa tanan imong bayranan. First, na din ha imong gross sales or gross receipts. No, ato ning kuan gyud. Ang gross sales ug ang gross receipts, what are the difference of the two? Mingita gross sales mauni ang mingunta ang tibuok halin sa namaligya og retail. Wholesale mo na gross sales, no? Tibuok halin. So ayaw sa no deduction sa imong cost of sale. So kung unsay nadawat nimo sa imong kahera, mao na imong i-declare sa City Hall or sa imong munisipyo. Mao na ang gross sales. May gross receipts mao kini ang imong halin sa pagserbisyo. So may kag restaurant, that is gross receipts. May kag boarding house, gross receipts kana. Lease gani magkanang bayad sa abang gross receipts, no? Kay service man imong gi-provide, dili man retail.
Di man goods.
Pero pareha rin ng gross sales o gross receipts halin. Kay gross man, no deduction yet. Unlike sa BIR, kaning Bureau of Internal Revenue, nga ang ilang i-tax is net income, di ba? Oo. So, ang net income is derived from gross sales minus the cost of sales equals the net sales. So, net sales na pag yun ay deductions, ang net income mo na imong taksan ang net income. Sa local government, lahi.
Kani sa Attorney Oliva, Mark, di na yun yung makabalibad kung patudloon ng taxation.
Mao lagi na, no?
Mark, di na yun yung padong.
Mao lagi na. Daghan na nag-offer na to, Marge, nga patudloon ta. Pero kanang, ato sa unahon ni ato ang trabaho sa gobyerno. Kay, you cannot betray people of your time. Kay, I am paid by a taxpayer's money mo na nga kini ang ato ang gibuhat karon nga programa serbisyo publiko ra gyud ni. Pero nonetheless, ato i-continue ni siya kaning gross sales o gross receipts pareho ra gyud ni mao gini atong i-declare sa local government every January. Kanang inyong gross sales o gross dinha makuha ang inyong business tax.
More business na to.
Yes. Lain-lain atong local government code states of a ceiling or a cap of business taxes. Na atay, for example, printing and publication na ay limit of 1% of the gross sales or gross receipts. Pero ang Mandaue is only charging 60% of 1%. So, kuha na siya, discretion of the local government kung pila ilang i-charge. So, ang Cebu City lahi, Mandaue lahi, Talisay lahi. Lain na sila. Even in your municipalities also, lahi po na siya. Naapoy, kaning mga local taxes, no? We'll be clear on this one, Marge. Kay business taxes gani, municipal governments can impose business taxes. Kaya naman po yung mga taxes nga dili ma-impose sa munisipyo. No? So municipalities can impose business taxes. So that's why they can collect business tax also.
How often can the municipality raise the rates of these taxes?
Ang atong gikuan gud ana, business taxes cannot be raised within 5 years. So after 5 years you can raise, no? Real property tax you can raise every 3 years, not a general revision. Pero business taxes every 5 years gina siya. But it must undergo public hearing and the necessary posting, the necessary publication. Kaya kung wala ng posting, walang publication, walay public hearing, then your business tax is just good for nothing ra gina siya. So, kailangan compliant gid ta ana. Bisag substantial compliance lang gid, March, pwede ra gina siya. So, from the business taxes sa inyong assessment, ibutang pa din na ay fire clearance fees. Naa din ang inyong environmental fee. Naa din inyong garbage fees. Kanang fees ug taxes different na mga higala. Di na sila parehos. Kaya ang tax is by power of taxation. Fees is by power of police power na ang gigamit sa local government. So, mao na nga different gyud ang duha. Mao ang mga fees pwedeng magpasaka anytime. Even every year, mapasaka ang fees. Pero ang taxes cannot. Hindi na pwede. Kay, a tax can only be raised every 5 years for business taxes. Mo na siya. So, makita din na tanan sa inyong assessment, na din na ang total, kung pila tanan inyong bayranan, and mo na ang atong mga bookkeepers. Mobalik as bookkeepers nato.
Nga, sayo kay naglinya.
Sayo naglinya. Magkuha sila sa ilahang assessment, i-add to sa ilang kliyente. Ang kliyente, dugay man muhatag og bayad, March. Dugay muhatag bayad, muhatag na inig after almost deadline na dinha na mag-abot
na sila tanan.
Mag-bottleneck na ang mga munisipyo ug mga city halls nato din ha.
Kay na 11 na mo manira.
Sus more than March. You know,
Buntag
you go to any municipal halls or city halls by the time kanang January 18, 19, 20, we don't go home anymore. Nami din ha magbuntagay gud mi, no? Although mo stop me og receive sa inyong mga kuan by January 20 we stop by 11 o'clock. Pero sige mig continue trabaho ana. Kailangan mo receive raman mi Marge. Pero ang among pag-assess ana sige na siya. And so mao nang dinidapita ang kuan. Now, upon we return, Marge, we will talk about the assessment. The power of the treasurer to increase your gross sales or your gross receipts, even whimsically.
Okay. So, before we continue, let's take a break.
All right.
Okay, now we're back. So another tip from our city treasurer here in renewing your business permit is be honest. And
Okay.
if you can't be honest, unsa to?
At least be near honesty. Be near your most honest declaration. Kanina nagsulti tag be early, be prompt, no? In your in your transactions. So as early as now